Hello, everybody, and welcome to San Francisco, a city known for its iconic landmarks, rich history, and unique experiences. Today, I'm taking you on an unforgettable journey to some of the most famous spots and some hidden gems that make the city so special. And whether it's your first time visiting or you're a local looking for new spots to explore, this video is packed with awesome sights, delicious eats, and a little taste of the future. So buckle up and get ready for an epic San Francisco experience. Now, first up, one of the most famous streets in the world, Lombard Street. Known for its iconic 8 sharp turns, this crooked street is a must-see. It's designed to help cars navigate the steep incline, and this beautifully landscaped road is both a photographer's dream and a driver's challenge. And trust me, we're going to walk up this street today, and it is going to be a nice hike. Once we get up there, we plan to kind of drive down in our car and kind of that way get the experience of both walking up and driving down the street. Now, this is one of San Francisco's most iconic streets, Lombard Street, but most people just call it the Crooked Street. It has about 8 tight switchbacks that were designed to make the steep hill safer for cars to kind of drive down. And this street is covered in beautifully maintained gardens, and it makes it one of the most photographed spots in the city. Originally, this street was too steep for cars, so in the 1920s, the city planners designed this winding path to make it more manageable. And when you're walking down, you get this amazing views of Kuwait Tower, the Bay Bridge, and of course, Alcatraz way in the distance. But if you're driving, it's fun and a little nerve-wracking, I must say. But honestly, it's a lot of fun. And one thing I must add is no matter where you go, the views are amazing. Now, next up, folks, let's try something futuristic. Well, welcome to the future of transportation. Today, we are taking a ride in Waymo, the self-driving taxi service in San Francisco. Now, there's no driver, no steering wheel, well, maybe a steering wheel, and just pure AI-powered navigation. Let's see what this little robo-taxi can do. Now, we booked our ride on the Waymo app, and boom, it just arrives all on its own. Now, the first thing I noticed is it's really super sleek and futuristic. And you've got this touchscreen that lets you start the ride, adjust the temperature, and even plays music. And it's basically like a private ride without the small talk. Now, just a fun fact, Waymo's AI reacts in real time to everything. So like bikers, construction zone, and even unpredictable human drivers. So there's no road rage, there's no wrong turns, just precision driving at its finest. Now, you may think, how does the self-driving car see the road? Basically, Waymo uses a combination of sensors and AI to detect everything around it. So you remember seeing that little spinning wheel that was on top? Now, that's called a LiDAR, and it scans 360 degrees around the car, creating a real-time 3D map of the streets. And then there's a high-resolution cameras that tracks traffic lights, lane markings, and even hand signals from cyclists. And in case of bad weather, the radar sensors help detect cars and obstacles from further away, even though there's rain or fog. So Waymo's AI brain predicts movements in real time. So if a pedestrian steps into the street, it reacts instantly. No distractions, no road rage, just precision driving. And now the moment of truth. How does it drive? Well, honestly, it's shockingly smooth. The car makes perfect turns, it obeys every traffic light, and even slows down for pedestrians. It probably drives better than some human drivers. It's like riding with the world's safest and most robotic driver. And the drive feels really super smooth, and the car does a great job in handling the pedestrians, cyclists, and overall all the whole traffic as such. And it's crazy to think that in just a few years this could be a normal way to get around. And San Francisco is one of the few cities in the US where you can actually experience this kind of technology firsthand. A couple of the other cities are Waymo already exists in Phoenix, in LA, and I believe they are partnering with Uber in Austin. And then they have a couple of other cities that are in the works, like Atlanta and others. So it's coming, folks. It's a convenience that we'll all be seeing in the near future. And just like that, we are here, folks. No awkward goodbyes or no tips needed. Just a smooth, fully autonomous drive or ride from start to finish. So let me know in the comments, guys, would you ride in one of these driverless cars? Now, if you guys like travel content and want to see more adventures like this, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and then turn on your notifications, folks, so that you never miss a video. All right, so now let's move on to the next location. Now we've taken the Waymo taxi and we've made our way down to Fisherman's Wharf. And Fisherman's Wharf is one of San Francisco's most lively spots. The smell of the fresh seafood, the sound of sea lions barking, and the sight of the historic ships make this a sensory overload in the best possible way. And now we're going to take this bridge and get over to the other side of the road. That way we don't have to deal with any traffic. Now, when you stroll along the piers, you get an amazing view of Alcatraz and the Golden Gate Bridge in the background. And Fisherman's Wharf is one of the most touristy and lively, spots in San Francisco. Now, if you're visiting for the first time, it is a must-see. And there are a ton of seafood stalls, selling fresh crab, shrimp, and clam chowder served in, the sourdough bread bowls, and which is a local favorite. And one of the best stops here is Pier 39, where you can actually find a bunch of cool shops, restaurants, and of course the famous colony of sea lions that love to bark and sunbathe on the docks. And then, just like you saw earlier, you also get some beautiful views of Alcatraz Island, home to the infamous prison. And then you'll also see street performers entertaining the crowds, from musicians to magicians. So a little bit of everything, really. And this area is also packed with a lot of history. Back in the 1800s, it was a major fishing hub for Italian immigrants. But today, it's still a mix of old and new San Francisco. And as you can see, you have a lot of tour buses that are continuously kind of going back and forth, and there's a lot of tourists here as well. And this, guys, is the Alcatraz landing, and all the cruises to Alcatraz leaves from here. And that's it from Fisherman's Wharf today. And what you're just seeing there is a beautiful drone shot of the Fisherman's Wharf area. And now we are headed to My Cafe for some breakfast, or rather brunch. And they're famous for their egg benedicts, pancakes, and French toast. They do have outdoor seating, but they do not accept reservations, so be prepared to stand in line, guys, if you're headed this way. And they open at 9 a.m. and close at 2 p.m. And it's a really nice restaurant, and I would highly recommend eating here.
Okay, this is the challah bread French toast.
This is the banana souffle. And the Tex-Mex omelet, or Tex-Mex scramble, along with some garlic fries. And next up is Ghirardelli Square. Now, this is a historic landmark turned chocolate paradise. It was once a bustling chocolate factory in the 1800s, and it has now been transformed into a historic landmark and a must-visit destination for desert lovers and history buffs alike. Now, what makes a Ghirardelli chocolate unique is their special bean to bar process. They control every step from roasting the cocoa beans to creating their signature smooth texture. Now, even if you don't have a sweet tooth, this area is worth visiting, just for the history and the views of the bay and Alcatraz. So it's just a nice family atmosphere here. Now, as you step inside, you're instantly hit with the rich, creamy aroma of chocolate. Ghirardelli Square is a chocolate wonderland. It offers everything from the classic milk chocolate bars to their famous dark chocolate sea salt caramel squares. We ordered the mint bliss and then 2 Knob Hill chocolate drinks. Now, we've been here a couple of times now, and I would say that evenings are the best times to visit here. The square is beautifully lit in the evenings with twinkling lights, live music, a peaceful vibe, and great views. Now, it's a perfect way to end your San Francisco adventure if you choose to do so. And after your chocolate fix, you can always walk to nearby attractions like the Fisherman's Wharf that we went earlier, and then of course Pier 39, or even take a short ride to Lombard Street from here. And from here, we're going to walk down the street 100 yards or so to Market Street, and from there we'll be catching the San Francisco's iconic cable cars and take a ride all the way down to Union Square. And we are now at the Powell and Hyde's Market Street station to catch the trolley all the way to Union Square. So what you're going to see here, folks, is how they actually turn these trolleys. So it goes all the way up to the little round table there. It gets locked in, and then the 3 gentlemen there, they are just doing a good old push, and it turns it around in a jiffy, and then it comes all the way back up to where we are standing in line, and it loads the next group of folks, and then it on its way to Union Square. Now, San Francisco is famous for its cable cars, and this is one of the most classic experiences you can have here. Now, we've hopped on the Powell and Hyde line, which offers some of the best views as it climbs up and down the city's steep streets. Now, hanging on to the side of that trolley makes it way to the Union Square. Now, that's an experience everybody should have at least once. And as I mentioned before, this is one of the most scenic routes in the city for these cable cars. And then these historic cable cars have been around since 1873, making them one of the oldest forms of transportation in the United States. And it's just not a ride, folks, it's an experience. So, this is an activity that I would highly recommend you do if you're able to do so. You get some amazing views of the city from the bay to the skyline, and then and one of the best parts is you can just hang on the side of the rail as the trolley moves through the city, and just make sure you hold on tight. So now we are at Union Square. It's pretty crowded, as you can see here. Well, it's the All-Star weekend, the NBA All-Star weekend here this weekend. So it is pretty crowded. There's a lot of experiences, a lot of activity going on. So we are just going to get off at the station that's coming up right ahead, and then kind of walk around and see what we can find. But there's a lot of activity for kids, for families, for everybody here today. And look at that, it is busy here. Like I said earlier, the All-Star game is this weekend, so everybody is here enjoying the festivities. And we are just going to walk around a little bit and kind of explore and see what else we can find. So that's a wrap on our San Francisco adventure. So from the crooked streets to the cable cars, the sweet treats to the self-driving taxis, this city never stops to amaze me. So if you enjoyed this journey, folks, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell like for more adventures and travel content. So that's it from us, folks. See you all in the next one, and have a great day.